Hello. Ciao. Hola. My name is TP, and I will be your guide to Rimworld, the colony sim base building survival strategy game that's the perfect experience for me and my tremendously smooth brain. Sitting third in my most played games on Steam. No, we don't talk about you anymore. I've spent many an hour exceeding human expectations and baffling scientists with my ever-growing intellect. But before we began our adventure, I knew what I needed to do. I just didn't know if I had the strength to do it. I had to navigate the infinite void known as Rimworld Steam Workshop, where the number of mods rival that of Left 4 Dead 2. However, I was only searching for a few quality so many. So I caved and went a bit overboard perhaps, but then I thought back to the famous words of our very own favourite wartime Prime Minister, who I believe famously stated in his really cool bunker surrounded by various forms of bread-like cakes and plenty flavours of tea that, well shit, I guess it do just be like that sometimes. So I started off as a lost tribe and chose Randy Random as the storyteller, because who doesn't love high drama and unavoidable sacrifices? And then I totally 100% chose the losing is fun difficulty. Please man, I just want to get more than one video out of this. I created a map, ideology and colonists that would definitely not share the same fate as their predecessors. So after reading that I'd already annoyed some divine being in the sky, I found a nice defendable area slightly pushed into the mountain covering the west side of the map. This was the place where our tribal hopes and dreams would all come true. Not you. I then realised I was going to have a Sans Undertale level of bad time whilst butchering the work priorities, because as well as having the average IQ of your local crackhead, none of our faithful boys and girls here understood how to string more than 3 words together in a sentence. Kinda know the feeling. The colonists initially armed themselves, since who knows what kind of horrors we may encounter in this 100% games done quick approved losing is fun difficulty run. Sam and this person began construction of what was soon to be our new great empire. Lion and Goose were left to plant sustenance and other root-based life forms, since Camel wanted nothing more than to quench his everlasting thirst for blood. Nearby I spotted 2 very nice steel tables that would make a great addition to our recently built storeroom. So like the true Briton I am, I decided they were now ours and quickly absorbed it into our soon-to-be empire without hesitation. The next day came, and construction was well underway, including an outhouse from the Dubs Bad Hygiene mod, because who doesn't love being able to sit down after a long day and just absolutely This person also began mining at the mountain behind the storeroom, since our current stockpile zone was on its way to becoming as full as your I naively set up the next couple of research projects, thinking it wouldn't take more than a week to research 300 points. I was wrong. Camel managed to chew up the colony, however, by taming a muffalo, meaning soon we might be able to get a constant supply of food other than rice and potatoes. So I set up the pen needed to keep our new fluffy friend from running away, assigned some work for the crafters to do, and I made sure I would have a constant backstock of each item to either sell or replace on colonists. Speaking of, we were running drastically low on edible nutrients, so I harvested the rice early, and just as quickly as you've realised you've not liked this video, the vultures that were my colonists descended upon the raw food and gorged. I was then met with the opportunity of naming the colony, and whilst deciding, I had managed to cause an unbelievable blunder to myself. So I named myself aptly. The game informed me that Apple, a refugee from war, had taken a small stumble out of the sky and was needing our help.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that? What's that, brother?
Lion, with his hulking mass and slightly receding hairline, took the courage to describe Goose as a magnificent house. Yeah, I'm reading that right. But hey, Goose took it positively, and they started a budding relationship. With love very much being in the air tonight, it seemed only fitting that even our Muffalo friend had the chance to find partner or two perhaps. Muffalo, hey, you baby. Dirty dog, you. I started thinking our colonist was secretly stashing food, since starvation was once again a worry, so this time I made sure there would be enough food to last at least a couple days with the allowed tool mod, which lets me select all berry bushes on the map in one go. The thought hit me that the colonists had been standing at tables eating and had no place to sit. However, unlike those really nice steel tables, no one in the colony knew what a chair was, so I was stuck with creating 4 wooden, uncomfortable, ugly boxes that didn't even match the feng shui of the room. But damn, those colonists must have some crazy cars now. The stockpile outside the base was reserved purely for human waste, since despite being told that everyone apparently likes their own brand, I can't imagine staring down the barrel of whatever the last colonist dropped off is good for anyone. Shortly after this, an eldritch monolith crashed down from the dark abyss known as outer space, and immediately, without concern for whatever sinister being was at play, I sent Goose to find her best 1920s Arkham Investigator cosplay. I think Camel's curiosity got the better of him, as he joined Goose initially until his spidey senses started tingling and he left our brave little Goose to bear witness to otherworldly visions that the human mind can struggle to comprehend. The same night I was met with another notification of Eldritch expansion. 2 Harbinger trees had sprouted close to the base, and although they had very mean faces and some views on immigration that I don't think should ever see the light of day, they made for a great accomplice to hiding body. It had only been another couple of hours before even more Eldritch horrors reared their head in the form of a sight stealer.
Now, say my name.
The person whose name I can't pronounce took a hit from the beast, but was able to kill it on their own despite Camel laying in wait further north. I then thought it would be an easy enough job shooting a down creature. However, the colony once again proved my optimism incorrect. It took them nearly 2 in-game hours of not hitting shit before I just gave up and sent Camel to execute the sight stealer. Following this, a battle in space ensued, more than likely caused by that sneaky, not-so-little monolith, which provided the colony with more than enough steel and components to take us through the early industrial era. And Nelson was feeling particularly rude today, just throwing himself into the colony like that. As if we don't already have an issue with our colony being full of greedy guts. Get out of here, you goof. Expansion was well underway when I accepted the initial task from the Royalty DLC's questline. Goose, our recently pregnant farmer, was to be our middleman between our colony and the false empire. To further our Peter Bailey levels of fake loyalty to the empire, we promoted Goose to a senior member of our ideology, had a bit of a dance, and awaited a message from the empire to give blessings in a ceremony of acknowledgement. That's right, Goose. You get your beak dug deep into their false sense of superiority. It took around 14 days for Randy to finally throw some enemies towards the colony. It may have only been one person, but damn, they were geared in comparison to our bows and clothware. I decided to send the fighters in close. We weren't going to outrage this dude with our arrows. And a 2v1 Royal Rumble scrap echoed across the Rimworld. It was a tough battle. Both colonists took hits. However, they managed to overpower our aggressive invader. Allowing our soon-to-be thriving colony to survive for another day.